Now we're working. Perfect. So, good morning. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning here at the warehouse. And I wanted to start doing like little updates. This is something that we did a while back. By the way, my name's Bobby, in case you're new to me. You're not new to Dynamic Discs, obviously, because you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. But it's just something that we did back in the day where we got on, and I'm sure they did it while I was gone. And just so you know kind of the quick story, I started with Dynamic Discs part-time in 2009 and did part-time work for them for the next 4 or 5 years. And then in 2014, came to Dynamic Discs full-time, moved to Emporia, Kansas, and then was with Dynamic Discs until 2021 when I decided to go home. What's up? Good morning, Magnus. So I'm going to kind of let people get in, tell you a little bit more about my story. So anyway, left in 2021, went back home, I did social media freelance for a lot of well-known disc golf companies, Whale Sacks, Disc Golf Strong, Idio Sports. And then I also did some social media consulting. And then I actually did some social media consulting with Door Disc. A good friend of mine, Shane Solomon, helped him with some social media. Still a good friend of mine. And then got with Clash Discs and did their social media for a while, and then decided to try to see if I could help them grow in the United States. Of course, they didn't need a whole lot of help. They needed some social media help, but man, they were taking off like crazy. And then I thought, well, maybe I could help them grow even more in the disc golf world in the United States, and was going to be like a wholesale guy for them. I was going to try to be a distributor for them. But in the end, none of that worked out, and I ended up getting a job at Tulsa Shields. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Shields, and great company, and was able to work my way up to marketing director, and then was basically going to be there for as long as they let me be there. And then I got an email from David Berglund, and after catching up with him on life and him catching up with me, the topic of Dynamic Disc came up. And after about 3 or 4 more meetings, here I am. It's been a week and a half starting back at Dynamic Discs, and I love it. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll see if I can answer them. Otherwise, I just kind of want to talk about a few discs we have coming up. Now, one thing we're going to do, this isn't going to be a long live stream because we're getting ready to go do some filming, but we're getting ready to go do some filming for the Trilogy Challenge. So I grabbed some Trilogy challenges. It's going to be me, Eric, and Jackie. We're going to go out and do some fun, do a few holes, throwing these discs, and then do some fun challenge, maybe some kind of challenge or something like that. What's up, Kyle? Hello, Raul? Rays? I'm terrible with names. You probably remember that from the Disc Golf Handsman days. But, so I got this Sweet Truth. That looks beautiful. Look at these, man. I love what they've been doing with these. This Orbit? Is that Orbit, right? You're going to laugh, but I'm still learning. I'm in this. So my first month or so is going to be all learning everything. Learning, obviously, there's some things like I remember the Truth, but I don't remember this, and I believe it's called Orbit. I don't remember, the warehouse is actually set up a little bit different than what I remember. There are so many familiar things, but so many new things. So I'm in just soak it all in mode, just learning it all. So anyway, we got the Truth here. So I'm excited to get out and throw this, but I really like the stamp on that. I like the colors, the pink, the purple, and the yellow. And then the Stag. I mean, look at these. These are so cool. Well, upside down. These are so nice looking, the Stag. I maybe have thrown this maybe once or twice back in the day. So I'm curious to see how it throws for me now. So anyway, if you're just tuning in, yep, this is your old office, Eric McCabe. Yeah, what do you think? I might have to dress it up a little bit so I can do, more of these little live streams. Anywho, so there's a cool color right there. I love the burst on that. That's really nice. Here's kind of a little subtle burst, but I really like those colors. So the Stag, we'll see how that throws. If I remember, it's kind of maybe Eric, you can help me remember with the Stag, how it throws. I think it's more of like on an understable side. Again, I'm relearning everything, so you guys got to be patient with me. The Peak. Now this I believe is really new. From Latitude 64, the putter. The plastic feels nice. It looks like this is like a micro bead on it, a small bead on it. Feels good. But yeah, again, I'm curious. So one of the big questions that people have asked me is like, are you still playing disc golf? Well, I've played. The last time I played, honestly, was last week because we had a little cookout for the dynamic discs. And that was really awesome. So I got to play. Eric McCabe was my partner, so that was good. And other than that, though, I hadn't played probably in 5-6 months, probably longer. When I got the job at Tulsa Shields, we were opening the store in Tulsa. Like there are Shields, there's 34 Shields everywhere, but Tulsa was a 34 store. So we were opening, we were grand open mode. So it was like not a lot of hours. So I just didn't have much time for much of anything. And just, I got into pickleball and just disc golf was like every now and then, but even before, so it's been a while. So, and then it's been a while throwing dynamic discs. So I'm excited to get back into it and test all these out. Let's see, questions. Again, if you have questions, if you're just tuning in, if you have questions, hopefully I'll make this kind of a regular thing where I kind of update on what's going on. Some new products coming out. Now this is already out. The Trilogy Challenge is already out, right? You can already join the Trilogy Challenge and do a Trilogy Challenge. And you're probably familiar with it, but just in case. So the Trilogy Challenge is like a beginner-friendly format for tournaments, right? And it allows you, as a tournament director, it's like so simple. We used to call it turnkey, right? You just order, you gauge the interest in your area. So let's say you think you'll get 50 people to come out and play. You buy about 50, 55, just in case, of the players packs, and you get the 3 discs, and then you get a mini, and then you get a towel, and those go in the players pack. And then that's what you give the players. And then they pay for the player pack, and then you can use the funds to raise funds for your local course or for an organization. And then the format's really kind of up to you. So you can kind of have fun with it. I've seen all kinds of different formats that people have done with Trilogy Challenge. But again, it's just a fun way to introduce people to disc golf. Even though and that's something maybe we could talk about. Because I have observed what happened after the COVID bubble, the pandemic, from the outside, not from in disc golf. So I may have I'll have an interesting perspective for you. So anyway, so the Trilogy Challenge, you can go to trilogychallenge.com, see if there's an event near you, or put on an event in your area. Also, you get extra little goodies if you have a certain amount of player packs that you get. Let's see, questions coming in. Is that a Fusion Burst plastic on the Stag? Yes, I believe so. And it feels nice. Nice. Going to have to wipe the stamp, especially in the sun. I know it is kind of shiny, huh? Kind of shiny. That one even more shiny. It's all good though. All good. Let's see, missed you too, Rick. Missed doing this, missed talking to the community, and I love it. Let's see, what's been the most significant change in dynamic disc you have noticed since being back? Wow, that's a great question. What the most significant change? Obviously having the other brands in the warehouse, which was like, it just was unusual to see, but I think it's an awesome direction that things are going. So that's probably the biggest change. Because, Eric McCabe is still here. There's Derek, Jackie, Kevin, Temp. They're all still here. Matt, Clay, just a bunch of people that it was so good to see familiar faces that were welcoming back. And then, of course, it's awesome to meet new people. We got a guy here that moved just to work in disc golf, and he got the job here in Emporia, moved out here. We got other guys that are players, some people that don't really have much to do with disc golf, but they enjoy working here. So just seeing the familiar faces and seeing the old faces was awesome. Let's see if there's anything else significant. Not really. I know the media department offices, those were being built when I left, so it was really cool to see it. Now, I've been back two other times after they were built, but it's really cool seeing how it was built with all the offices in the media. Let's see, next question. That's a great question. Missed hanging out on the course when we could. I was one of the original cameramen for Smash. Oh, nice. Nice, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I miss hanging out on the course. Let's see, Steven, I know the feeling. I was deployed last year, so I haven't played but 2 rounds since I've been back. I do want to shout out DD for sending us a box of discs as we could throw in the desert. That's awesome. That is awesome. Now, that's one of the things. Now, I didn't pay a lot of attention to disc golf, but I did watch a few videos here and there. And of course, I paid attention to the dynamic disc because it's always been near and dear, and it's still near and dear to my heart. But I remember they did a veteran program. So I'm still learning. I'm trying to figure out, still learning about all the things we got going on. So I have to figure out what's up with that program. So another disc we're going to talk about is the Heist. This is a nice distance driver for me on the overstable side. So something, if I'm throwing in the wind, got some little bit of headwind, this is going to be a good one for me. Me and Eric actually went out the other day. Was it yesterday? No, I think it was Monday. We went out Monday, went out to the field and we threw this. And so he threw it, I threw it, sort of a little reminiscent of the Is This Disc Right For You? But we added a little bit of a twist to it. So hopefully you guys will have fun with that. But I could definitely feel that I hadn't thrown in a while, like thrown hard. I could kind of feel it in here, but that's okay. But yeah, I like this overstable flight of it for me. Eric bombed it. Woo, he bombed it. So we had a little competition, a little distance competition. So you guys will have to check that out. You'll have to see who won. Who won? But the next one is, now I have not thrown these. In fact, I literally just picked these up and never felt them. This is the Motive. And this is, my understanding, is more going to be on the the lightweight class of discs. So a lot of you people that are like, make more lightweight discs, this is going to be your answer. So I'm curious to throw this. I'm sure the next time we go out and throw, we're going to take a few of these out. Now, I know we've sent these out to a few people, team members. I don't know if it's team members, or maybe Eric, you can tell me if you're watching team members or other people to actually check these out and throw these. So we've sent some of these out so people can check it out. Feels good. Definitely feels like a lightweight disc, like the smaller diameter. So if you like that feel, you're going to like the Motive. And then the Treason is also an understable. Me and Eric were talking about this right before I went live. Believe this is a turn -3, which has me pumped. Because you know me, I like it when I can throw a disc and I can get it to stand up, right? I just don't have no aspirations to be a pro. I don't even know that I want to be an advanced player. I just like having a bag and some discs and getting out and having a good time hanging out. And I'm going to do that more often. I do miss disc golf, so I'm definitely going to have more time to get out and throw now that I work for Dynamic Disc, especially since I can go throw and get paid to do it. So anyway, the Treason. So I don't know the dates on these. I know the Heist, I believe, is May 29th for to buy customers, for what we call direct to customers. I believe it's May 29th. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. I don't know that we have the exact dates for these. So, but we'll talk about these, I'm sure, as we get closer and closer to the release dates. So that's the discs we have coming out that I'm excited about. Let's see, the questions are coming in. Let's see, what's been the most now? I answered that. I know the feeling. Missed you and DeGam. I missed you guys, Rob. Missed you too. Missed you. Now, what's exciting is today we're going to jump. I mean, a lot of the stuff we're just jumping. Like today, this whole update thing. So I've been like doing a deep dive into disc golf content and disc golf media because I wanted to get a feel for it. I've been like I said earlier, I've been watching it a little bit here and there, but I really want to get a deep dive into it. And so I've been watching a lot. And I got to tell you, Foundation Disc Golf, they are doing it right. I've been learning a lot by watching their stuff. There's other people doing good stuff too, obviously. There's Silas, I've been really enjoying him. Jay Milley, been enjoying him. And then some of the podcasts are out there. Of course, Upshot's great for good information. And so, yeah, just a bunch of different podcasts and social media content, people putting stuff out. I love the people, what is it called? Is his name Broderick? He's putting out super chill stuff of him just playing and giving good disc golf advice. I love that channel too. So anyway, when I saw that people were updating and doing things where they're updating people just in a relaxed format, and that seems to be a thing on YouTube, just kind of the relaxed format, just talking to the camera, I thought, oh yeah, we used to do dynamic discs updates. I'm going to do that this morning. I thought that on my drive to work, which is literally about 8 minutes. So threw everything together, and here we are. All right, questions. Not more of a question, but I would love to see a dynamic disc passport that takes 20 to 40 courses in a state and has one page of the information for the course, a blank area for notes. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. I might have to copy that comment and maybe look into it more. When you came back, did you make a completely new bag? Did you save your old discs? Any problems remembering plastic names, etc.? That's a great question, Nick. Thank you for that. So yes. So when we had established my starting date, which was May 5th, one of the first things I did was I grabbed my bag and I looked in and I was like, oh gosh, I don't know that there's any of the Trilogy in there. So, I mean, I was doing my thing with Clash Disc. So, but I did have an old disc off an Heiser rack that was given to us a while back. And it had a bunch of my old dynamic discs and the other discs. And I just went through and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that one. Oh yes, yes. So I grabbed the Maverick, I grabbed my Suspect, I love my Suspect. I grabbed the Trespass, I grabbed the Renegade, yeah. Come on, let me see it in the comments there, the Renegade. Grabbed my Renegade, and then I grabbed, what else did I grab? Warrant, my Judge, my Deputy. It's a Fusion Judge, it's a Dymax Judge. And it's old school, way back in the day when Dymax was first coming out. So, I read a comment. I shouldn't have read that comment out, so I was answering. So that's some of the molds. Now, when I got here, I obviously recognize the molds, but I'll have to get used to like feeling it, knowing what's Lucid, what's Fusion. I'm sure it'll come back to me really quick. Some of the newer plastics I'm not familiar with. Some of the designs like Orbit and Splatter, I'm going to have to get used to. Some of those, I mean, obviously you can look at it and go, oh, that's Splatter, because it looks like Splatter. So yeah, I got it. There's a lot to learn. Now it's all stuff that I know. Dynamic Disc, West Side, Latitude. So I'm getting excited about DD again. Nice, Rob. I'm very excited. How does the heist compared to the Trespass? That's a great question, Rick. And it reminded me of the Trespass when I threw it, like the flight of it. But I would really love to grab like a beat-in Lucid Trespass and then compare it, like go out on my own and just kind of throw and compare to see my thoughts on it. Might have to do that on my own. Content creators, the motive is, oh, that's Eric's comment. Thanks, Eric. Releases. Oh, the motive is a Junior Worlds release in July. Nice. I'm going to be here for Junior Worlds. I'm excited about that too, to see these young kids. I want to see these young kids and how they're doing. I bet you they're going to blow me away, just how talented they are in disc golf. Let's see. Glad to have you back. I'm glad to be back. Any chance of a collaboration between you and Jonathan, Latitude 64? Would love to see my two favorite DG disc golf DG YouTube personalities goof around together. Paul, you know what? I would love to collab with him. I don't know how we'll do it. I don't know if I'll end up overseas or he'll end up over here. But that would be really fun. Jonathan, that dude is talented. I remember he really started getting into his groove before I left. In fact, I remember even calling him a couple times just to say, hey, walk me through your process. Walk me through what's going on in your mind when you come up with YouTube videos. And he gave me some great advice. And so, yes, Jonathan is like the man. And hopefully we can bring some of the fun he has with Latitude, we can bring that back to dynamic discs. So if you ever catch this, Jonathan, which I don't know if you ever watch it, but hey, hit me up. Let's see. I think Foundation is too much a different generation for me. Oh, okay. I get that. I like it though. I think those guys have a good time, which is great. What's up, Garrett? Is there potential to do a monthly or bi-monthly fan vote to retire? Oh, that's a good idea. That's interesting. Again, I'm kind of learning, Kyle, what all the different there's a couple things that, like, I can't remember specifics, but I'll be like, hey, we should do this, or have you done this lately? And they're like, oh yeah, we've been doing that kind of. We've been doing it here and there. So some of the stuff like that idea, maybe they've already kind of done, and I just got to learn more about it. So we'll see. I think that's cool. Bring back the Ricky Orbit felon, just name it differently. All right, I'll have to look into that, see what the story is on that. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be a super long one. This is just to kind of get it started, unless I get some more questions in. I will tell you that, again, I'm in just like big time learning mode. And one of the big things that I'm learning right now is that there has been a narrative put out there about everything going on at Dynamic Discs. And I totally get it. I can totally understand from the outside world how it would appear, how things would be. I get it. It was the impression I got being on the outside that, things just weren't going right. And things weren't going quite as they planned, right? Things just weren't going right. I can't imagine they ever planned to do things with what had happened, right? Nobody plans or wants to fail, right? And there's a narrative about and I'll just say it, the venture capitalists. And after talking to a lot of people, they don't have much say in what's going on, right? Not the day-to-day. It's still the core people here at Dynamic Discs that make the day-to-day decisions, right? And then in talking with people here, man, what got me so pumped and made me realize that I made the right decision to come back. I mean, I was excited to come back. I knew that I was coming back to the same company, but I wasn't coming back to the same company, right? Ask yourself, were you the same person 4 or 5 years ago? I bet you your life is much different. In certain areas, they're much different. Well, that's the same for a business, right? They're not quite the same business they were 4 years ago. And they've been through a lot of wins and losses. And I get the feeling, it feels like there's a lot more losses than wins. But I could see it in their eyes. I could see it when people talk to me. They still love disc golf. They still have a passion for dynamic discs and a passion for growing the sport. They just somehow along the way, and all this stuff that's happening, dynamic discs just lost their voice. And I'm here to amplify what's here. The passion to be extraordinary, to be passionate, to be dynamic. I hate to sound cliche, but I always love that slogan when we put it out there, because it's still here. It's still here in their day-to-day, right? They still want to see this company grow. And so I'm excited to be a part of the growth. All right, question, do you still keep up with Rethko? Does he keep in touch with the DD folks? So I actually we've chatted, and hopefully we'll maybe meet up and kind of catch up. Got a collab with Foundation. I would love to collab with Hunter, man, and Trevor. I would love, I'm going to call him Travis. I would love to collab with them or just even talk to them more, which is awesome. Welcome back. Hope things turn around. Thank you so much. And then okay. So it looks like the questions are slowing down. So not really much else to say other than, bring back Robert, Danny, and Anthony as special guests. Daniel, I think that would be awesome. That would be so fun to do, to bring them back as special guests. So, I don't know exactly what the future holds as far as that type of stuff. I do know I have a vision and goal to just, I can't go and change the past. You can't. You can try all you want, but you just can't change the past. All I can do is take the lessons to be learned from the past and focus on moving forward. Never looking back. Well, I don't want to say never looking back. Look back, learn, and then move forward, going forward. And I know it's going to take a while to get people to gain back their trust, but it's going to take time. The excitement for, me coming back has been amazing. It's been awesome. It's felt so good, and I think it's great. But it's still going to take time, because once that newness, the glitter wears off, people are going to be like, well, let's see what happens now. Let's see, and I get it. It's going to take a while to gain that trust back, but we're here to work. We're here to put the work in. So I don't know what's going to happen as far as having people back or having people come on as guests on the Disc Golf Answer Man or anything like that. But I do know that I'm moving forward, and you never know. Let's see. What is the name of the donut place near the old store? Daylight Donuts. I had some donuts the other day. Don't tell my fiance. I had a little bit of donuts, and they were good. So happy to see Cool Daddy Slick Breeze back home. Thank you, Chad. So good to be back home. I don't think I need to necessarily want the old dynamic. I'm excited for the future dynamic, which had to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Oh, I like that, Kyle. I too am excited for the direction that we're going at Dynamic Discs. You know, a lot of times I look back at some of the poor decisions I made in my life and some of the obstacles and challenges that happened in my life. And I think to myself, you know, there's a lot of times like, man, I wish that wouldn't happen. I wish they wouldn't have done this. But they happen for a reason, and you learn to grow from that. That's when you can look back and say, I can be okay with what happened because I have learned and I've grown, right? So that's what we have to do. And something that I've always said to myself and something I've always talked about, especially when I was at Shields, is I am right where I'm supposed to be. And that mindset always makes me think, I am right where I'm supposed to be, so I'm going to be the best version of me that I can. And so I can look back, and I was sad that I left Dynamic Discs, but I met a lot of great people working for them as their social media manager, as social media consulting. And then I went on to Shields, and it was a great company, and they invest a lot in their people, in the leadership of their people. And I learned a lot about marketing from a large corporation, right? They're not the biggest. They're not quite as big as House of Sports and all that, but they're a big corporation. So I learned a lot about marketing, and then my store leader that was there, I learned a lot from him about being people focused. And so now I can take the knowledge I have from disc golf marketing and media, the knowledge that I gained from Shields, and now I can implement it. And so again, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to put my all into it. Okay, enough preaching. Sorry. The Is This Right For You series is the main reason I filmed my bag with DD. Nice. So like I said, I don't know if you caught it, but with the heist, me and Eric McCabe went out and did kind of again, a lot of this is, I know a lot of different old ideas and I want to bring them back, but I got to experiment. I've got to see what still works. I got to get back into the groove of it. So we did an Is This Right For You, where I threw it and Eric McCabe threw it. So you can kind of see the difference. And then we had a little bit of fun with it. So I'm going to edit that probably tomorrow and Friday and hope they have that out next week or sooner. So yes, the Is This Right For You is definitely a great thing. Are you going to promote the DD sponsored pros? That's from Joshua. Well, yeah, they're part of the story, right? Now, they're not the only story. The other story is people like me, like the Matt that works here, that Clay, and no, Clay won't let me put him on camera, so you won't learn anything about Clay. But the story is the people that work here, the people that are behind the scenes, and then are, the people out, the tournament directors that are out there pushing the sport and getting back to growing the sport after, this kind of little, I don't know if you call it a hangover, or just trying to, realign themselves or reinvent or just put themselves back out there after. I'm learning that we are still feeling some of the repercussions of the big swell from the pandemic, so which I find interesting. But talking about their story too, they're part of the entire story. So one of the things I am going to reach out to the team players and kind of get to know them, build that relationship, and see who wants to be. Remember, the one thing I always used to preach is you are a brand whether you like it or not, and that's so applicable to especially sponsored players. That your reputation is your brand, and you are a brand whether you like it or not. It's just all what you do with it. We are praying for you and everyone. Thank you so much, Power Group. I appreciate that. Jake, I made it a goal to fill my bag with latitude as I lose slots starting last year. Now I go half latitude, half DD. I love it. That's what I'd love to hear, Jake. You are the man, Jake. No, that's so cool. Now I've always talked about how throw what works for you. I would love it if you threw dynamic discs. That would be amazing, but throw what works for you so that when you go out on the course, you have a good time. Now, I truly believe you can have the best time if you have dynamic discs, but whatever works for you, you throw it. Any chance at developing a disc that floats in the water? Actually, I thought I read something about something we have that actually, maybe I'm not giving away, hopefully I'm not giving away a secret. Did I read it on like a private? I can't remember. I thought we had something kind of toward that. Jenny Margarita's Hillary. Oh, Jenny Margarita. They're gone. Eric, I kept meaning to ask you, what happened? They're gone. There's no more Jenny margaritas. I just feel like we don't. I just feel like we don't anything about guys like. Yes, John, that's a good point. Yes, you're right. So in that, telling the story of dynamic disc, like I said, is the pro players. So yes, that's one of the aspects. That's one of the I don't want to say strategies. One of my goals is to, again, build a relationship with our players. Me, help them understand the importance of social media and getting out there, and then of course helping them tell their story as well. So yes, excellent point. Oh, Katha just moved. Whew. Thank goodness, because those Jenny margaritas came in clutch sometimes on a very busy Friday and rough Fridays. I better see some one-wheel videos through the warehouse. So that's what I'm trying. So I know I'm going to get a hoverboard for sure, because this warehouse is huge. And you guys know I like having fun with that. So my old hoverboard just kind of kaput died, so I had to throw it away. I did it responsibly because of the battery. But I was looking at a Segway, but those are expensive. The one wheel, I've read about it. They're a little harder to navigate or stabilize, so I'm not 100% sure. And so remember, I'm going to have a camera in my hand, so I think I might just get like a beefed up hoverboard. What put me onto Latitude was the Rive. The General and the Defender has less glide with the boat. Flight. Dee can hopefully find that Rive flight. Well, I bet you Eric could help you with figuring out the Rive flight. Thank you, sir. Really looking forward to this. I live in Topeka and have found it so hard to support DD, even though I'm an hour away. I get it. Totally get it, Joshua. Again, there's a narrative that was put out there. And I understand why the narrative, because that's just, it felt like that's all you heard about was the negative. And that's not to push the negative down as if it didn't happen. It happened, right? You just didn't have the good, the wins that were being pushed out there, because again, I don't want to speak for the people here because I wasn't here, but man, the only way to describe it is some of them kind of felt a little beat up by people they knew, by social media, by what was happening. So, I get it. I totally get it. So again, it's going to take work I'm not bringing something new. I'm just bringing back what we did, which was amplify what was here already, and it's still here. It just needed a little lift, that happens, and I'm happy to do it. So, but I get it. Hopefully we can win your trust back, and you'll be able to root for Dynamic Disc again. That's my hope. In an effort to get more cardio, Bobby will be doing Warehouse After Dark on a pogo ship. Absolutely not. I get plenty of cardio. I went to the gym this morning. I joined Genesis so I could go to gym here, and then there's a Genesis in Broken Arrow where I live as well. I live in 2 places. Imagine that. So that I can go to the gym there. And I went to the gym this morning. What about commercial with Bobby and Jonathan? Oh, that would be fantastic. We got to figure out some script for that, Dean. Some kind of commercial with me and Jonathan. Okay, so I got a little bit more time, but we're going to go film. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, me, Jackie, and Eric are going to go film so you can see different levels, skill levels. I just realized if Jackie throws farther than me, I don't know that I can go through with the video. I haven't played in so long. She better not throw farther than me. Anyway, we're going to take the Stag, the Truth, and the Peak out, and we're going to do some videos so that you guys can see how they fly for us and kind of get hyped about Trilogy challenges. What is the plan to get pros back in town? I was very quiet this year without having them coming through. Oh, it was very quiet. The original GBO brought so many people. Yes, Stephen. So again, that's something that we've been talking about in our brand team meetings about figuring out how to bring, coming back this first year with Glassbone Open, GBO was awesome. Turned out really, really good. I didn't get to come for the whole week, but I did come on the Saturday, which was the block party. I brought my fiance with me so she can kind of get a feel for disc golf and dynamic discs. And I thought it was awesome. Now you have to kind of align, or you have to kind of like temper your expectations, because I remember back in the day when it was like thousands of people coming to town for the event. And so the event had 400 people, which is not anything to be upset about. 400 people is a nice sized tournament. And then we had the block party, and the block party was not as big as it used to be, but it was a nice size. We had a good size. We had a good time, had some good food, got to see a lot of people. So that's good. So my point is that it's the first year bringing GBO back. We went over some of the wins and losses, and we thought about some of the things of continuing to bring back that same feel, and having pros come along for that is one of the things we talked about. So, but we'll see. I don't know how it's going to look. We'll see. Are you going to have a Does It Heiser film? We're going to do something, Dean, something like that. I don't know if it'll be exactly Will It Heiser or some sort of form, but man, I'm so ready to have some fun videos. Daniel, welcome back. Cool Daddy. Thank you so much. Is Dynamic Disc going to completely redo the DDG course? DDO course? More elevation, a bit shorter with more. You'll have to talk with Eric McCabe. I don't know if he's still on here, if he has any input on that, but Eric McCabe, he's our champion course designer. So he's the man to answer the questions about course design. Oh, yep, there he said. Yes. Thank you, Eric. New chapter, new series. Will it and Heiser? That's actually good. Maybe that's kind of what we add to it. We just say, will it Heiser? And if it doesn't Heiser, say, well, okay, we see if we can get it to Anheuser. I doubt we can get much to Anheuser. So anyway. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here so that I can go prep, because we're going to go, like I said, do the Trilogy Challenge, get the camera stuff ready, get everything ready, and head out to the course to do it. I can't tell you guys enough how excited I am to be back. And I can't tell you enough how excited I am to be working with the people here that are amazing. And they do good work. They want to do good work. And that has me excited to be back. It reinforces the decision to come back to Dynamic Discs. But I'm also excited about creating content so that you guys can enjoy. I can have fun making it. You can have fun watching it. We can connect, and I remember what Dynamic Discs was like when it was at its best. And I am ready to get back to that. And I'm ready to bring you guys along for the journey. So I appreciate you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. We're going to see if we can make this a regular thing. I don't know if it'll be Wednesday mornings or some other morning, but I'll try to make it somewhat regular so that we can kind of figure out, so that you guys can be ready and you can have questions ready. Don't forget to go to, do I have the website, discgolffansman.com anymore? I don't remember. I'll have to look. But I know that you can go to the YouTube video we did announcing the return of Disc Golf Answer Man. In there's a Google form link. You can click on that, or you can go to our link in bio on Instagram, and you can submit a question. So get those questions in, because we're gonna record an episode today. Probably a short episode, but we're gonna record one, and then we'll start recording regular DeGam. So we'll see you guys. Thank you.